Like,
because also there must be like, you're not gonna have 100% hit rate with pedophiles.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, if you're the 12-year-old boy, at some
What
point
if
you're
you're
gonna
not the
be
type?
you're gonna be chatting to 12-year-old girls.
Yeah,
at some
yeah, yeah.
point,
And then you're the paedophile.
and then you're the paedophile.
You need to dye your hair out or live long enough to see yourself become the
It's fucking
paedophile.
paedophile Inception.
A little word from one of the sponsors. Produce the sponsor, Dad.
Bobby, you joking? It's not a sponsor, it's Patreon.
It does.
Oh, hello, viewers of YouTube. Sorry about Bobby over there. He simply can't contain his jokes.
I'm such a joker.
No, Bobby, what? Patreon.com/what's happening pod.
Nice.
It's £4 a month, and my friend Gary over here, he's going to tell you what you get.
£4 a month, right? You know we get for £4 a month? You get to see us on our beautiful faces early, right? Early access, Tuesday, you get it, £4 a month. You also get Patreon exclusives, right? We do about 2 episodes a month. You get that, included in the price, £4 a month. I was going to say free of charge, but it's not free, it's £4 a month. Head over to patreon.com/what's happening?
Yeah! See you over there. Hello, welcome back. Episode 112 of the What's Happening podcast. This week we are joined back in the studio by TEZ ILYAS. TEZ, thank you for coming down again.
You're welcome, mate.
No,
You're fucking welcome.
for everybody who's watching at home, who's thinking, he's back again.
Not seen him before.
Never seen him. Never seen this man in my life. We actually had TEZ on a few months ago, and the memory card with TEZ's episode on went missing completely.
So, we lied to you at the time, right? We said the video file was fully corrupt.
I was in Dubai. taking that phone call.
We felt embarrassed,
so
right?
funny.
We said, it was corrupt. What happened was our last producer on the way home phoned us and was like, I've lost memory cards on the way home.
So do you remember last time you were here and we were all in pyjamas? 'Cause we
Yeah,
just
and there's
recorded-
episode 100.
Yeah.
So I was at episode 101.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Exactly. So those 2 episodes.
3, because we had the Patreon special.
Oh yeah, 3 episodes.
Right.
That was possibly 3 of the best episodes we've recorded in months.
We were on fire that
Yeah.
night. Like, your episode's my favourite episode.
And we were thinking, I was like, I can't wait for this one to come out. Because we found out so much about you as well.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
was just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, I know you've done live at the Apollo, and you were like, oh yeah, I'm a Times best-selling author. I was gobsmacked,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't wait for this to come out. And then he rang us, and he was like, I've lost the memory card. And we were like, what do you mean you've lost the memory card? And he went, I don't want to go back outside and look, because where I think I've dropped it, there's loads of smackheads arguing. And I was like,
Get outside
I was like,
now.
Get out there. Fucking look at those memory cards.
So he said he gave the smackheads a 5 to help him look.
He was giving smackheads 5s to help him look for this fucking tiny
It was the audio
micro
memory card he
SD.
lost. It was the micro SD with all the audio on.
So we still had the video, but
Yeah.
we could have just dubbed it, but I wasn't comfortable doing the accents. I didn't want to do it just in case. I didn't want to.
So it was heartbreaking.
Oh,
Man. It broke me
That
heart.
was good as well. I really enjoyed
It
myself.
was,
I
it
said
was
it on
sick.
it, and I was
It
like,
was
oh,
sick.
I love this.
It was so good. It was so good.
Because we recorded the 100th special afterwards, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were like recapping over the 100 episodes and what's been the favourite. And I was like, you haven't watched it yet. I said, but next week's episode, which we just recorded with TEZ, is by
so
far
cool.
my favourite. And then no one got to see it.
It just made him look. It made him look
Ben's
a
a little
twat
dickhead.
straight away.
And that's why we've got a ginger lad now. We sacked Ben.
We've replaced Ben with Gary's son, essentially.
Did you sack him for that?
No.
No. I mean,
He had too much on his plate with uni and stuff, and he had to fucking
He
bail.
was finishing uni, and we were like, "Where's the clips, Ben?" And he was like, "I've got a degree." And we were like, "Well, we need clips now."
Yeah.
It was heavy. But it was. You know what? It was about what 2 months ago since you, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was 11 episodes ago.
It's 11 weeks.
So 3 months.
3 months ago.
3 months. What have you been up to? Obviously, since TEZ.
Since I last saw you, 3 months ago.
Since we last caught up a few weeks ago.
So, what have I been up to? I went to Dubai. I think the week after I saw you, I went to Dubai.
Yeah.
How long were you
Was
there
that for
for?
a holiday or working?
Holiday, yeah. So it was one of my best friends' 40th. I was going to say best friend then, but I don't know who's watching.
But he's
So one of my best friends' 40th birthdays.
Why is he not your best friend, though? Out of all of them, why?
Because the other guy who lives in Dubai is my best friend, Abs.
Ah.
Sorry, Kaz. Fuck you.
Look, he can't, lad.
Fuck you, lad.
That's you not getting an invite to the 41st.
I don't know.
He lives in Dubai.
They all fucking live in. All
I was
my
gonna
mates
say,
live in
going to
Dubai,
Dubai
man.
for
They've all
40th is
fuck-
insane,
they've
but
all
if they lived
fucked off
there-
to Dubai, man.
Would you ever go?
I'd go and visit, but I'd never go and live there.
No, why?
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. First of all, it's getting a bit too political. This,
No.
like
let's
the
do it.
whole thing is like built on slave labor a little bit,
Yeah.
and all the slaves look like me. So I'm like, if they didn't look like me, I might not be asked. But they're all
Yeah,
like,
but
but
then
they're
if
all
you-
like from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and that, and I'm like, it's a bit much. This.
Yeah, but you don't want them to put all that work in for nothing. You may as well go and enjoy it.
That's why I go for holidays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't. But living there for too long, and I think also you get a bit institutionalized. You know, like you live there and you get that sort of. You get like, oh, have you guys got help in the house? And you're like, oh no, you've got. Oh no, you've got to get help in the house, lads.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get a maid in that.
see yourself changing.
And then
becomes
you
a-
become one of
you're
them.
keeping
and
up
then-
with people then, yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if I need one. I'm like, oh come on, lads, you need it.
You need
it.
it.
It's not all about
You
that.
get mixed
Like,
opinions. People who've like, because I know people who've lived out there for a while, and some of them say like, best thing I've ever done, and others go, it's not all made out. What it's fucking.
yeah,
what it's meant to be.
we had a lads on, we had a DJ on, and he was living out in Dubai. He was coming back and forth, but he was spending most of the time in Dubai, and he said like, it's really good, but when you're actually like, you know, when you peek behind the curtain a little bit, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
close that. Like he said, there's a lot of underhanded things.
Yeah,
and he
I
said
think
the
if you just
police-
like go there and live your life and you're not asked,
Yeah.
and just doing A to B and you're working and you have, I think like you can never really. I see the appeal of it. The first few times I went there, I didn't even see the appeal at all. Now I get it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand why people go
Yeah.
there, and I get it. The weather's great all year round. You know, if you're Muslim, you got halal food everywhere.
Yeah.
You
Apart
got-
from
you
the
got-
floods the other week, fucking
that was
heavy,
fucking
wasn't it?
insane.
I know isn't Dubai in the desert?
Yeah, but like, so I thought, so they started doing this thing called cloud seeding, where they I don't know exactly how it works, but
This is
somebody
They
it.
basically
Isn't it?
make clouds.
yeah,
don't
so they
they?
make
I've
clouds.
seen
They
that.
basically make artificial rain.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
how they do it, but that's what they do.
It's fucked up.
But it wasn't that.
It's the
It was
TEZ or the
there just
slaves.
happened to be a storm. And what's so funny is like everywhere was that they never thought to put drainage in, so that's why everything got flooded.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what though? If you're building a city in the desert, I doubt guttering is probably.
But then if you think to
Top
yourself,
of the
right,
list.
we're going to start cloud seeding in the future, you might need to plan for a bit of guttering then at that point.
It's
And
basics. Guttering's basics, and if you can fucking reclaim land in the sea.
Retrospectively, how hard can it be to fix that? Like, if you got that much money, if
Yeah.
you got that much money to build the tallest skyscraper next to the second tallest skyscraper, then just do some drainage.
Yeah, I suppose so. Like, I suppose it makes sense if you can build the biggest buildings that look gold.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Throw a gutter on the top of it at
Yeah.
the very least.
Yeah. or under
At
it.
the very least, just in case it ever does rain.
Yeah.
you might need it.
But what was mad was like rain was like water was coming into people's like 15th floor apartments. So I was like,
Huh?
oh, there's shoddy building work as well. It's not just the drainage at the bottom.
Because rain
which
is
is-
sideways.
Yeah, and I was like, nah, this is fucking. You know when you're sat in Blackburn,
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
this is so
Yeah.
fucking funny.
Happiest anyone-
It rains in you too, lad.
the happiest anyone's ever been to be in Blackburn as well.
Yeah, I was like, this is, yeah, fuck off, go live out in Dubai.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves.
Drown
I
in
said
the
just
fish
some
and
armband.
float.
You know how inconvenient it must be for your flat to get flooded.
Imagine
On
when
the
you
15th floor.
on the 15th own
floor.
shorts.
At least on the ground floor, you can open the fucking door and let all the water fuck off.
But how did a 15th floor apartment, was it just leaking through?
Sideways raining.
Yeah, leaking through. Yeah.
Fuck. That's heavy, that. Do you know what? I know what you mean about not seeing the appeal of it as well, because like I know people who, I don't know people who personally like live there, but I know people who, like, I know lads who've been on holiday and stuff like that, and like I don't know, it just, do you know what, like what puts me off it the most is like, none of it's real.
It's all artificial.
None of it's real.
It's like
Not even the beaches are real.
It's Las Vegas without the culture.
Yeah.
And Las Vegas has no culture, that's the joke.
Yeah, it's
That's the
it's
joke.
like I don't know. I just think if I'm going to the beach, I'd like to look out to the sea and be like, oh, there's actually somewhere else beyond that. Like I don't know. I just the whole.
They've been like artificial islands on the sea, like Palm Island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like they
all
just
reclaimed
got,
land,
just
innit?
got like sand from the desert,
Yeah.
shoved it into the sea, built it up, just got it secure and all that, and then they built like 5-star like
Hotels on it.
That's
hotels and
crazy.
on it. It's meant like when you look at it, it's impressive.
Oh, no, it definitely is.
Because like the thing is like I like old things. I like old architecture. I like
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
And I thought, would I be that cunt when the pyramids were made? Going, I don't like this, mate.
Yeah.
And now, like 2,000 years later, I'm like, pyramids, fucking how did they do that? By the time, I would have been that cunt going, it's a bit ostentatious.
Yeah, it's a bit obnoxious, don't you think? Three of them, really.
Yeah. I'd be that guy going, I'm not impressed by this.
No.
How many slaves died?
Yeah, I don't like the fact it was built by slaves.
Yeah.
Really, I think that's why I don't see the appeal of ancient Egypt. I don't know. It's fucking. I don't know.
The mud, that's real Egypt. That's real Egypt. That back there. That's real Egypt.
Have you seen though, like, because obviously the pyramids are like fucking one of the wonders of the world, like incredible. And then when you just turn the camera around to fucking Cairo, whatever it is, there's shit all in it.
It's crazy. Do you know what I hate when people who've been to Dubai though? Like I feel like not everybody, but there's a percentage of people who've been to Dubai, and whether they stay out there for like a period of time or like they go and they just come back, I feel like they come back with an entirely different attitude, and it's like you.
A positive attitude or negative attitude?
No, they could be like, I feel like people come back from Dubai and they're a bit of a wanker.
Is it a bit like they're better than you?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And the chances are they probably are better than me.
They might be.
But I don't want them to
Yeah.
openly display it to me. I'm not
No, I
really
get
into
that.
it.
And they have
I think
Liverpool
you
to
get
Dubai in
like
the bio and all
sucked
that.
into the lifestyle there, and like.
See, do you know what? Do you know what I think's mad as well? And it's like, it's not even like, it's like a sort of open secret now as well. You know, the whole thing of the, what was it called? It was called like the Dubai porta potty scandal.
Porta potties, like shit on the chest.
Yeah, because you see all these girls who are like influencers, and like some of them.
Schultz made a joke about it, didn't he?
Some of them are like, you know, the nice looking girls, they're influencers. They make a lot of money on Instagram, but then like they're going to Dubai for a week, and then
On a private jet.
yeah, they're going on a private.
Who's got private jet money? Even if you're doing well on Instagram, you ain't got private jet money.
I don't even see the appeal of shitting on them.
Well, I mean, I think once you have so much money and you've done everything, your kinks must be mad.
Yeah, but look at the logistics of it, right? So when you're on the toilet and you're shitting,
Right.
you've got a ceramic dish holding you up.
Yeah.
So have you got to have a strong core to hold yourself up off the person, or do you have like an apparatus that you sit on and then the female lies underneath it, or do you sit on it and then you're squashing it against your ass and against their chest? Like the logistics of it don't work.
I think though,
How does it work?
I'd say apparatus, because I think if you've got enough money to fly models out on private
shit
jets
on.
to put them onto your yacht
Yeah.
with the intention of shitting on them,
Yeah.
it makes sense to at least have a little.
So in the Middle East and Eastern part of the world, a lot of people still build toilets on the ground, so they're squatting.
So they've all
Okay.
got
Shit, so they've
they've
got
all
that
got
core
course
built
then.
in.
Yeah, they've got that like, oh, okay, so maybe it was meant to happen then. If anything, the culture of and the,
So they'd
the
smash anyone doing CrossFit then.
yeah, the culture and the architecture of the place is led directly, almost up to the point.
It was inevitable.
It seems it. It does. I think, but the thing is with it is like, because I remember there was, I forget who I was speaking to about it, like it's, there's always someone who you ask them about a very niche subject, and apparently they know why it goes on, and I forget who I was speaking to, but they were like, oh, it's like a degradation thing, like the way they look at it is because these fellas are fucking millionaires, some of them are billionaires,
Yeah.
the money means nothing to them, so it's like, it's sort of like, they're trying to like, I don't know.
But then why do people like kinks exist everywhere, right? And whatever your kink is fine. But shitting on the chest isn't like an exclusively Middle Eastern whatever Dubai concept.
yeah.
Like so the people
Coming over here, shitting on our chests.
so the people who do it like the German in German
Yeah,
porn or
yeah.
whatever, what are they getting out of it?
It's weird.
It's just weird.
What's
I think it's obviously a power thing.
And do you reckon you get post-nut clarity after shitting on someone when you just think,
Post-poo clarity.
yeah, that was a bad idea.
But also then like, what is the post, like what's happening after that?
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of light chat.
Like what? Yeah, if they're like, all right,
Does it stay there? Do you take it off? Who takes it off?
Do you know, I'm gonna go in first to like clean wipe my ass.
Yeah.
And then so you just sit there. I might be a bit because I'm gonna be on my phone for a bit.
Yeah.
So you just sit there.
She's doing the
He
crap.
makes
Or
it
the two toilets.
She doesn't drop it.
Is there a shit towel? So like a specific towel.
I suppose if you're on a yacht in the middle of the sea, you could
Just jump in.
dive off, give it a little one of them, get it gone, and then you could probably climb.
And how long would it take, do you reckon, to feel clean afterwards?
Weeks minimum.
Years.
I think. But
Do you reckon there's a direct correlation between birds being shit on and suicide rates? Has got to be, hasn't it?
no, I think
It's gotta be.
I think dependent on how much they pay you is how long it's gonna take you to feel clean.
Money talks.
Like if because there's girls who apparently go out and doing it for like 50 grand, and it's like 50 grand to be shit on by multiple people is not a lot of money. But if someone was like million, I'm letting them, and I'm probably never even going to care about that. I do think
What
it
is $1 million your price then?
No, I'd say I would do it for the 50 grand.
I was like, who are you fucking kidding? That's a deposit on a flat.
Yeah, no, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying I wouldn't feel clean for a while after I did.
Right, okay.
But I'm still doing
right,
it.
Right.
But I think, because obviously I'm talking about, like, there's got to be an amount of money for them to do it, and you just don't even care the next day. If I wake up the next day,
and
I'm like,
also, once you open Pandora's box,
that's the name of the
like, do you want another 150 or 200 or whatever were the
I suppose once
prices?
you've done it once.
Oh, they're like, well, I'm not gonna do it. They're like, well, all right, 400, and you're like, that's a second house. That.
I don't know. I would.
Yeah.
I would love to, because the thing is, the only difficult thing is with it. I'd love to get one of these girls who's went and done it on the podcast, but they don't seem to be very vocal about when they've done it. They're not very open about what they've been up to.
Well, surely there must be. Yeah, maybe not, but maybe there's an NDA.
Yeah.
Imagine signing that. Imagine getting handed that. Imagine you get on the boat and they go.
Yeah. So it's like obviously the anonymity there. That's like given in it, but like, we don't even want you to acknowledge that it happens.
I don't know. I think that's a bit. Because
What a conversation.
No, because let's say they paid the 200 grand,
Right.
and
She's definitely signed something.
yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
At least like you can never disclose the name of the like minimum.
oh yeah.
Minimum that.
And I reckon the person, the shitty, does the cleaning.
No, the shitter.
The shitter
Yeah.
does the cleaning or has someone do the cleaning, so she doesn't retain any DNA.
They definitely don't.
No, they don't clean it themselves.
Oh, yeah.
But they have someone who's in charge going,
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
you're not moving, I am taking this off, yeah. And that's all over your tits because you're not taking my DNA and exposing me.
And I don't know. I think if you're shitting on women,
You're not that.
do you care?
No.
What would
Also, you could just deny, like at that level, just be like,
Yeah.
just people want attention.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not true.
What would you like? What would be your price, Tez?
To have
Let's
shit on
say
me,
let's say you were in Dubai,
right?
And let's say I'm
And
there.
Kaz was like, let me shit on your tits.
let's say I'm there.
Yeah.
I've somehow come into a lot of money.
Yeah.
Moved to Dubai.
Yeah.
I'm on a yacht, me and the boys, and I'm like, Tez,
Yeah.
you can come and party with us.
Right. What's the catch?
One condition:
Go on.
I'm gonna pay on you. But I'll pay you.
How much?
How much would it take?
I don't think I got a price for that.
So if I put 500 grand on the table, cash,
It's not happening.
not even a single poo, not even a five.
Not even to watch you poo.
No, you could be.
Through a glass.
No, you could for $500,000. You could at least be in the room.
No, I've got too much dignity for that.
Yeah, but $500,000.
I've got like whatever's written for me is written for me. If I have to end up begging on the streets, I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. But I know what's written for me is not watching. Is not being shat. Is not being shat on with my consent.
But you also think that's a generational thing? Because
Yeah,
how old are
maybe.
you?
41.
He looks good for 41, doesn't he?
Exposing me.
He's a sexy
Cheers.
bastard.
To be fair though, I think there's a lot of 21-year-old males who probably take the $500,000 to get shit on these
100%
days.
would. I think
Yeah,
it's a
maybe.
massive. Because I think, and I don't want to sound fucking horrible here, but the generation
But I know where
now,
I know where I come from.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
people don't really.
it's not the worst thing.
People
in the
want to
world.
cheat. People want
I
to
could
cheat
go
code
back- I
now.
could go back there.
People of the younger generation want to cheat code. They just want to do as little as possible and gain as fucking much money and power as possible. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You chat to young people, and it is like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And it's like million. Like they don't say job.
Yeah.
They say millionaire.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
And the thing is,
So how they get there doesn't matter.
yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
achievable ways of doing that now as well. Like you could just, you know, like there's some people who sell fake clothes on Instagram, and they're making tens of thousands of pounds a month.
Crazy, isn't
It
it?
is mad. It is mad. I think I do agree with what you're saying though, with it being a generational thing, because I think we've sort of got like between me and you and Tez, I think we have got three sort of
Donations.
three different.
How old are you, lads?
I'm 33.
26. He's
26.
33.
Right, okay.
You're 41. So
Yeah,
there is a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit of a
yeah,
gap
yeah,
in
yeah,
between.
yeah.
And I know for a fact there's people who are my age who even I look at and I'm like, what? I'm not saying I've got my shit together at all, but there's some people I haven't. But there's people these days who even people Gary's age would look at it and go, what the fuck? And they're only like 5-6 years older than us.
I remember when I first heard the concept of people watching other people play computer games. And like now it's not. We're in
the norm
2024,
now.
so it's normal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've gotten over it. But when I first heard about it, I couldn't get my head around.
Time for another word from one of our lovely, lovely, lovely sponsors, Bobby. who's the sponsor?
Well, I'll tell you. The sponsor is Grid, and that's 2 eyes in the Grid. The lads over at Grid, the lads over from Ireland, sent us over a big care package full of goodies, tracksuits, t-shirts, caps, you name it.
Look how smart you are.
Very smart. They are based over in Ireland, but don't you worry because they ship all over the world.
The whale.
If you're quick enough, they're about to drop the summer release. Some nice trackies, some nice shorts. Very contemporary, very lightweight. I'm fat, I look good. And 1st of June, they're dropping in Foot Asylum, Liverpool.
But, Gary, if I may,
You may.
you will not get 20% off in Foot Asylum. But I'll tell you where you can. Head over to gridofficial.com, and then when you get to checkout, put in the code Happenin20 at checkout. I'll repeat that for you, Bob. It's Happenin20 at checkout. And that'll get you 20% off all of your orders, courtesy of us, because we really are men of the people. That's gridofficial.com. Their Instagram is grid_. That'll be on the screen. Check them out. Links in the description. Bang. I think...
As you'd say, my head fell off.
I think...
It's true though.
Like, I think the idea of porn, I don't know how that ever become like a normalised thing. Like, it's so normal now because it's been about for so long. But like, I wonder at what point did people stop trying that much? Like, I wonder at what point did men stop trying to the point where it was like, well, I can't be arsed going out and buying them a drink and having to listen to the fucking, and then I'll just watch someone else shag someone. I think that's weird.
But
as
again,
fuck.
the younger generation now, porn's normal to them. But like, if you go and look at,
Fairly normal when I was growing up. I
but
think.
when you look at
Ish.
a peep show, that's so fucking weird. That's pervy. But back then, that was probably the norm. And people were like, yes, I'm peep show, innit? Don't know. Probably was a freak, but
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we can say anything's weird. We literally stand on a stage and like watch and
and
listen to
and
what I...
attention.
Attention
Yeah,
seeking.
yeah.
It really is. It really is. Speaking of, you're going down to Hot Water tonight, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Looking forward to it. The newly opened Blackstock
Is it
Market.
your first time in there?
First time in Blackstock
Very nice.
Market, yeah.
Very nice.
I'm very excited.
It is.
Sick.
It's a nice venue. It's good.
Yeah.
What are you running any new stuff, or are you going in
Well,
hard with the...
I'm on tour from September, so I've been running stuff for a little bit. Not just about getting the show together, so it's a show rather than a collection of material.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to write like a fucking sad Edinburgh story or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
it's been done now.
Still some sort of loose narrative.
Yeah, sort of if just...
Yeah. Some of that ties the stuff together a bit.
How do you test that material then? Because that's where I've struggled, because with me writing my first hour, 45 minutes to an hour, it's not a sad sort of Edinburgh story, but it's got a narrative from start to finish.
Yeah.
But because in my mind, a lot of the stories are connected, when I go and do a 10 to 15 minute set, I struggle to run some of the material, because in my mind I go, doesn't make sense to them, and I won't run it.
Yeah, but I think you just got to, essentially, and
past
this
that.
is something that I've been telling myself over the last year, you got to get over yourself. You got to get over yourself and be like, it doesn't matter. If I've got to run the material, I've got to get comfortable doing the material.
Yeah.
And running the material, you'll find the like new jokes and ad libs and stuff that will make it stronger.
Yeah.
So you just got to do it.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. And you got to accept that you might not have the best gig.
So selfishly, it's for you, not for them.
Yeah.
So you're like,
100%
I need to run this
When
for
you're
me.
doing that, that's for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you still want it to go good because no one wants to walk off stage fucking having
Bombing,
died of death or
yeah,
bombing or
fucking,
whatever.
yeah.
And you don't want to walk past the promoter quickly or whatever. But
put your head down.
And
Yeah.
I imagine it depends on where you are in your comedy career
Yeah,
as
it
well.
does,
Because if
it
you're
does, it
fairly
does.
new and you're trying to
Yeah, it
impress
does,
a lot
it
of
does,
promoters,
it does. Yeah, that's
it's
the right-
hard to gamble.
that's tricky. The other thing is like just trying to book as many previews and work in progress as possible. Like in the early days when I had no name and I was trying to run like work in progresses, I've done it to like 2 people and just almost treated it like a rehearsal.
Just talk it to them.
Like imagine like running through a play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You still
yeah.
got like people who run through plays, they just run through it in front of like a person
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I just like almost treated it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I get the words in the right order.
Yeah,
That's good.
that makes sense. Well, one thing I wanted to go over as well, because I didn't really. I was thinking to myself before. I was like, I don't want to speak too much about things we spoke about only 3 months ago.
That's all right.
But obviously,
These don't know.
nobody's seen it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like, we can't just do the same. We can't talk about the same stuff again. And I was like, no
one
one's
knows.
even
You
gonna
can.
know.
Yeah, you
No
can.
one's
You can.
even gonna know.
Some smackheads listen to it on his micro SD.
Because imagine if one of the smackheads did find that and they're like, what the fuck?
It's just going to be released in years to come.
It
Just
is. It's going to be behind the scenes.
ILYAS on the
Because-
WhatsApp podcast.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh, mate, because the last time you were here, like I feel like obviously I already knew you were a comedian. Like I was aware of you already, but I feel like I learned so much about you. Like
It was the magnitude.
I had no idea that you'd been in Man Like Moby. Is it Moby?
Man Like Moby,
No,
yeah.
Moby as well. And you'd written a book which was a Times bestseller and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
You've played the O2. Opening for 7
yeah,
hour
it was
North
fucking,
Division
it was
so
crazy.
Much. Live the
like,
Apollo twice.
Live the Apollo twice. It's just it's such an and to be fair, I remember you saying last time as well. You've not you haven't been in comedy a massive amount of time.
14
really.
years this summer.
Oh, I thought it's 14 years this summer.
Yeah.
But didn't you say when I might have gotten this wrong? So if I have, please correct
It
me.
was only 3 months ago, so it was the same time frame.
I know, yeah, no, I know that. But when it was,
I thought it was 13 and a half years.
how to
You lied.
out. But wait, because it was when you said, didn't you? It was when you moved to London. Was it that thing started to?
No, so I started stand up in London. So I moved to London for a day job.
Yeah.
Home office.
Yeah.
Started doing, got lonely, looked for something
Because you
to
done
do.
the sketch, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started looking for something to do and I found a stand up course and I thought, fuck it. Worst case scenario, make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
Did that, fell in love with it, just got onto the circuit, the open mic circuit. So that was the summer of 2010. But then I was balancing my day job and doing open mics for 6.5 years. So I quit my day job at the end of 2016. So it's almost been the same amount of time that I was doing that.
Yeah.
That I've not been doing that. I think slightly longer now that
Yeah,
I've not been
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it. So it's been like full time since leaving my job about 7 years. Or 6.5 years.
Wow.
Maybe 7.5 years
Shit.
now. Yeah.
That was it must have been, especially living in London as well, like the most expensive place in the whole of the UK.
Yeah,
today. That
yeah,
must have
it
been a
was-
terrifying plunge at the time.
How
Yeah.
long did
But
you
I
sort of
left
stew
London.
over it?
So I left London. So the time that I left my day job, I also left London
straight to
make
Blackburn,
it,
was
to make
it?
it. Yeah, to make it work.
Yeah, because I suppose in London that's
Yeah, it would have been. Also, like I could have made it work, but it would have been meant living back in like a student type house.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I've
You've
done
done
that.
that.
Yeah.
I'm like at that point I was like 30 whatever, and I was mid 30s, and I was like I don't want to live like a 21-year-old.
No.
How
you
long was the
can't.
process deciding to go full time? Because obviously you got right. I'm good enough now.
About a year.
Was it?
And there was a point where I was like earning enough money to like justify. So like obviously going back home to Blackburn was going to save me a ton of money, but I still needed to earn a decent amount of money.
But then you take yourself out to London where there's a
Yeah,
shitload of gigs as well.
But yeah, but then by that point, I'd hustled the open mics, so there was no one on the live circuit that I needed to impress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was either gigging in a club or not gigging in a club.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
either booking me
Yeah,
or
yeah,
they were
yeah,
booking
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I didn't need to come and do an open spot for them.
Yeah.
So then I only just came for work. And in the early days, like to be fair, pre-pandemic, I was in London a lot. Like I probably say almost half the month I was in London.
Really?
And then since the pandemic, and once they realised you don't need to see someone for a meeting face to face,
Yeah.
that was the one of the few blessings of COVID.
But I think it's weird that the company Zoom's got an office.
Yeah.
Why do they like their whole business model is you don't need to
Don't
go
need
to
an
meetings.
office.
You don't need it. You just do it on the computer. It's like, well,
That's hilarious.
why are you paying overheads then? What
That's
are you doing?
hilarious.
It makes no sense
It's
at all.
surprising how many companies did that. Well, not surprising, but like how many companies did it after COVID and lockdown where they just went, right,
I think they
flexible
just seen how
working.
much money it could have saved them, to be honest, not having to pay
Well,
to
that's
keep
it.
an office
Loads
building
of people,
open.
loads of companies, just fucking offices are all empty now, aren't they?
So they ended up getting like a couple. So if it's like a nationwide company, they'll have like one office in every region where everyone can commute to like once a month,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
which is
Couple-
cheaper than having
yeah.
like 10
bo-
offices
a
all over. the
boardroom
place.
and some hot desks and
Yeah.
that's it.
You said last time, didn't you, when you done the home office the sketch about the home office,
Yeah,
why you
yeah.
still work there?
Yeah.
It didn't really.
Yeah,
didn't land very well.
the go home office.
They didn't like it,
No,
did
they
they?
did not like it at all.
Did they pulled you in for the meeting? Did
Yeah,
they?
they were like, "Oh, what's this?" And I went, "Oh, it's just a sketch that I did." And they were like, "And you know, at the point you're like, is the issue that's not funny? Or
You're going to
what's
critique it for me?
Like, because I'm,
You went in with a
I'm
notepad
open
like
to,
that?
I'm open to feedback. Like, you know, I'm not very experienced at doing sketches, so if you could, like,
Yeah, anything
to make the
that I
next,
could take,
to make
really,
the
yeah.
next one, better.
He's sending them Google Forms for feedback.
Open the book for a Saturday the following month at the
But
old
yeah,
office.
so I was kind of, I was trying to push for a 2-year sabbatical. Because I thought, like, if it doesn't work out, I can just go back to the home office.
Yeah.
But and it was about at the same time that they found that, they were like, yeah, that sabbatical's off the table now. So it's either you
But
leave.
they've been actually thinking of it, contemplating it, were they?
Yeah. So it's either you're leaving or not leaving. I was like, I've got to jump now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've sort of got, after you've called them, the go
Yeah.
home office on the
Yeah.
internet. Yeah, you've sort of,
That's why.
But
That's funny
part of
though.
the reason I wanted to take a 2-year sabbatical is because I'm northern and cheap. So I thought what I'll do is I take a 2-year sabbatical, and then even if I'm never coming back, the day my sabbatical ends, I'll go in, hand my notice in. It's a 3-month notice.
And get paid
You
3 months.
3 months pay.
That makes sense, though. That's not a bad idea.
Honestly, that's what I was
That's
thinking
not a
in my
bad
head.
shout,
But
you
is
know.
there any loopholes there? Because I know, like, in the company I used to work for, if people went off on, like, maternity leave and stuff, they had to come back for, like, 3 months before they handed notice in.
Or maybe.
Otherwise, you owed maternity pay to the company.
Or maybe they had. Well,
Yeah.
sabbaticals you don't get
Don't
paid
get paid?
for. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
you don't get paid for sabbatical.
Okay, so there's no money.
So it was So that's what I was gonna do. Like just hand my notice in.
Come back
In
and-
Belgium,
okay.
it's mad, like, because we had factories out in Belgium, and they were struggling big time to retain staff because there was so many crazy laws out there. So, like, if you decide to go self-employed and have your own business, you hand your notice in, you leave, that company have to retain your job spot for 5 years. And then if you decide at 4.5 years, self-employment's not for me, I want to come back, they have to give you a job. Wow. So they have to retain your job for 5 years if you go self-employed.
What, they
So
can't replace you with someone else,
they'll replace you.
but they still have to
But-
keep an open.
But they have to keep an open spot. So if you go, I'm coming back, they have to replace someone with you because you're coming back.
That's crazy.
That's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a bit, man.
So being a comic, you're self-employed, you can just fucking go on a 5-year fucking
Move
comedy
to Belgium.
stint. Yeah,
Decided to go for my scene
I was in Belgium last week actually.
Was you?
I was in Brussels, yeah, doing a gig. It's
Sick.
dead nice.
What's
What's it like?
Some nice, dead nice gig.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he, like, was there much of a language barrier, or was it?
Nah, everyone in Europe speaks better English than us, don't they?
Yeah, it's true.
And there are a
Very
few
true.
expats like Americans and Brits there as well.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Dead
I
nice,
suppose that made it a
man.
little bit
Really,
easier.
really nice, really lovely gig.
Did you get to gig much in Europe and stuff?
Not as much as I'd like, but apparently there's a lot of gigs all over like Central Europe, like Belgium, Netherlands.
There's lots in Netherlands.
There's
Yeah.
meant to be a shitload in Amsterdam in particular, because
Yeah.
there's a few actual comedy clubs out in Amsterdam.
Yeah, there's a few comics based themselves in Europe. now.
Sick. That is
And
sick.
I went to Breda with work, which is like an hour outside of Amsterdam, and I was just looking. Breda's only it's a nice town. It's not massive. And I went on like YouTube and Instagram and all that to see if they had a comedy scene. There was a comedy club there, and it was a fucking absolutely sick comedy club.
Yeah.
And I got in touch with them, and they were like, "Come and see us when you're here." So when I seen them, they're like, "Listen, we run international comedy from November to January, and then outside of them it's just Dutch only, so we can't give you the gig because you're outside that barrier, but if you come back in them months we'll get you on all day." And it was a really nice comedy club.
That's crazy.
I was like, that's cool.
When
So-
did your tour start? Did you go on tour?
September the 7th.
This year?
Yeah.
Shit, how long have you done you
Till the end of November, so it's about 40 dates
40 dates.
over
Shit.
3 months.
Shit.
Is that all UK based?
Yeah, from Glasgow to Brighton and everywhere in between, including Liverpool.
And
obviously.
is it in like geographical order? Or you fucking-
No. So I only go out on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and then there's the odd Wednesday, the odd Sunday. So just give yourself the maximum chance for people to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like,
What's the ideal day?
Saturday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause people are out anyway, aren't they?
Saturday,
People
Saturday,
are having a drink, they're going to
There's something
spend the
about
money.
And then maybe Thursday. There's something about Friday that people are like a bit knackered from
They're
work.
tired from the week.
And then they're like, right. And then they're rushing to get ready for the thing. And so they come a little bit hassled.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, now I must have a good night.
Yeah. Sort of
Whereas-
feels
So
a
they
bit
put
like...
pressure on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Thursday's kind of like the new Friday. Thursday's a bit like, I just want to have a good night.
Yeah.
And like, fuck going in on Friday anyway.
Yeah.
Or like, Friday at work or whatever.
I'll be hungover in work, it's Friday, you could
Yeah.
anyway.
Whereas,
It's mad all the things you got to think about, innit, when you're planning a gig like that.
What type
like
of...
Sunday, I hate gigging on Sunday. I do them obviously, but Sunday's always that sleepy energy. That's sort of like, I've got to work in the morning.
I quite like that, me. I quite like Sundays though, because it's like it's a little bit sort of, you've got a bit more, I feel like you've got a bit of leeway with the audience because they're tired, you're probably tired a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. But not if you're doing it in an hour.
Yeah. And
If
what,
you want an hour, like you want it to be like,
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't, yeah.
what's prime show time as well?
as in on stage.
Like, yeah, what time would you have a gig?
I'd love to go to like 8:45 if I could. But I think my show's going to start at 7:30. I'm going to have a support act. Then I'll go on and do some banter for about half an hour, have a break,
And then do your
and
show.
then do the show.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So roughly the show would start about 8:45
sense.
is when the show would start.
That's sick.
And then you run it till about 10ish.
What type of venues are we talking? Are we talking comedy clubs,
So it's
theatres,
really
or a
like-
nice little mix?
Yeah, so it's a nice mix. So like in places where I can't sell a ton of tickets, I'm doing a mix of like comedy clubs or like studios, theatre studios.
Yeah.
So anywhere between like 100 seater to like 200 seats,
Yeah.
250 seats.
Sick.
And then in like bigger cities where I can sell a bit more, I've got like small theatres, medium-sized theatres, and big in like Blackburn, Bradford, and London. I'm doing 1500s,
Wow.
1200s,
That's
Sick.
insane.
which is nice. And then Birmingham, I'm doing 900. And then like Leeds, Manchester doing 500, and then everywhere else is like anywhere between 100 and 300,
Nice.
350.
Mate, that's still sick.
So
though.
it's like
still
so it's nice.
incredible.
So it does vary like
Yeah.
place to place.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to be at the level where I could pay like you like a 500 to 1,000 seater
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Without that much stress.
I love how, because to be fair, when you said it last time, when you come on and you're like, I'll only do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I love that, you know, because like it's such a different perspective. Because like obviously, like I've only been doing comedy. I think what 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, just switching 3 years.
Something like
I mean
that.
my tour. I mean when I'm on tour, I only do Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
you were
Sorry, I
enjoying
meant
them.
as in when I do my tour.
So if you're doing
all my tour
gigs-
dates are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with the odd Wednesday, the odd Sunday.
Right.
But I'll gig any day.
Okay.
I'll gig any day of the week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I meant my tour shows. Just to give myself the best chance of getting people out.
Yeah. I had a
There's pressure on yourself then, isn't there?
Because otherwise, like, going on a Monday to Northampton, I'm not giving myself the best chance.
But if
there,
it's a
am I?
split bill and you're just there as an act, you can get
Yeah.
to run new stuff, whatever.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
fine.
pressure on
Yeah,
you.
then I'm not asked. Yeah.
I had I was doing a gig in Northwich last night, just past Runcorn. I've got like a little regular thing set up with like a little bar there. We're going back every month with putting shows on there. We done the first one last month, filled the place out, show went fucking really well. Filled it out again, or like near enough filled it out. I think there was like maybe 10 seats not filled, but
That's full.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And there was like, it's such a mad mix of people because there was like one, I think it was Kieran Carson said one half of the room looked like a Call of Duty lobby because it was just lads who were like 16 who watched the podcast, and then the other half was like people of all fucking ages and all. It was but there was a woman there, there was this Polish woman there, and you know when as soon as you start a gig, you're like, you're gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I could spot it straight away. She was bladdered before the show had started. She hadn't even pre-booked the ticket. It was just like when I went in, there was a few people in there, and I was just going from table to table. Going,
You
"Look,
were in
we're
their venue.
Yeah, I was like, we're starting a show at about past. Like, look, if you want to come in, the tickets are at 5. You can go and grab one at the bar. She was with 2 mates, but they'd had a drink, but they weren't fucked. Like
Right,
they were still
yeah.
there. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why. I knew that was the case, and for some reason I spoke to her, and as soon as I said it, I couldn't even understand what she was saying at that point because she had a really thick accent and she was slurring the words. I was just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
She starts the show. She sat right in the middle on like the 3rd row, and there was a couple of empty seats in front of her, so it felt like she was right at the front as well. She was like right fucking there, and then she's sitting there, and like I was emceeing, so like I was talking to people, just trying to like, create like a nice little feeling in the room, and she's sitting there and she's turning around to people, and then she's leaning over to people on the row in front, like what do you think? So,
Getting live feedback, real-time feedback.
I swear down, right? I swear down. So like, at first I was like, right, you've got to make a joke of it. You can't go straight into shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It makes it
It's
uncomfortable.
weird, yeah,
then.
the room hasn't-
It makes
yeah.
it uncomfortable. So I was like, oh.
It's not a club.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, fucking hell. I was like, where are you from? And she was like, oh, Poland. And then, so obviously, Auschwitz joke straight away, get that one out there. It's address the elephant in the room.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite past that yet.
I love Riffler.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm fucking, and then like, and it was funny at first, and after about 20 minutes, I was like, I remember looking at it at one point, I was like, I'm gonna cut you. I was like, I'm gonna hurt you in a minute. She just wouldn't. And then in the end, some lad who was like 16 turned around, and he was like, hey, I've paid a tenner to come here tonight. You know, he's like, and she was like, the ticket's on the bar with a 5, and I was like, oh, I was like, don't tell him. I was like, don't let him know. It was an absolute nightmare. It was
hard
horrible.
because, as you said, you don't want to go straight at it because it's not a club. It is a bar.
And there's
But
no
then
security as well. Like, you can't even throw her out, really.
And then as soon as you do start talking to her, though, that's her opening to just have a full-blown conversation with you. Then she thinks, this is acceptable. I can talk whenever
There's just
I want.
there's no right way of dealing with that. To be honest, I think the only right way of dealing with it is you kick them out immediately, and then you then have got to you've got to then try and get the room back up because I made the mistake.
I don't have the patience for it anymore. I was doing a club gig in London on Saturday night, and I think it's like my 4th show of the evening or something. And there was a couple, two women. I think they were a couple.
Yeah.
On the front, and they're just chatting, and then
Unnecessarily.
And I was closing. And the gig was a bit lukewarm, like it was a really hot day and stuff. So it was like the audience were a bit tired and stuff, and so the energy was a little bit flat. So I was going at it, and in a room full of good energy, I might have been in a good mood. I might have like been like, "What's going on?" But in that, I was like, "I can't be asked."
Yeah.
And
You just want to
get through this. And you know when you're just chirping and you're like, "I can't get," because when you're doing stand up, like you're obviously you're talking, but you're also
listening.
You're also listening to yourself, and you're working out what's next and stuff. And if that gets disturbed, then you don't know, it can throw you off and stuff. And so I'm like, the one time I was like, listen, if you want to chat, you're perfectly like entitled to go outside. Like I don't have an issue with you going out. Go outside. Like I don't have a problem.
You're not contracted to be in the room.
And then like 5 minutes later, they chatted again. And I'm like, I'm like, because I was about to lose my temper.
Yeah.
And I was like, just don't.
You
can play over this.
I was getting close last night myself. I was like, every time you hear them, you're like, what?
And then like a few minutes after that, they just themselves got up and left. But because at the front, obviously takes a bit of time for them to go, and like I can't just carry on talking like. And then the audience look at me like I'm a knob. And I'm like, why am I the end? And then you go off stage, the comics are like, oh yeah, they were talking throughout everyone's sets. Yeah. And I'm like, why the fuck
did the club allow it?
Why did the audience react like that then?
I feel like as well, I feel like
so fucking bizarre.
But sometimes it can backfire. Remember our split hour? So we're doing a split hour, and I'm talking, and I can hear someone muttering constantly to the left of the stage. But I'm front and centre, and I'm trying to scope the room and stuff, so I'm not constantly looking. But every time I look over, when I get pissed off, I just see this fella, like, talking to someone, and I was like, right, that's that kid there. And enough was enough, and I was like, listen, I said, shut the fuck up. I said, otherwise I'm going to come over there and I'm going to circumcise you in front of your bed with my teeth. And when you're a fucking knobhead, shut your mouth. And then in the break, I was on first, and in the break, apparently, he got off, and my bed was like, he had a cob on, because he weren't the one talking. He was telling the people off for talking. And I just turned around and seen him moving. So he was trying to help the show. So I just fucking attacked him because I'd listened to it for about 22 minutes. And I was like, enough's enough now.
It was lovely.
I'm fucking grilled him. And then my bear was like, he was trying to help the show. He was shouting at the lad talking constantly.
Like he was genuinely just a fan of the podcast. He was trying to tell him to shut up.
So then I doubled down into it, and I was like, on the podcast, I was like, if you're watching, you're a fucking shitbag for getting off.
I don't think you've ever actually apologised to this man as well. And you've got a solo show coming up and you want him there.
I apologise.
Gary's sorry.
Wholeheartedly.
You've got a new date for the solo show?
Yeah. The solo show was supposed to be tonight.
I was supposed to be opening for that. He didn't let me know. He moved it though.
I said to him, like, you're open for me, lad. I didn't tell him to move.
He's asked me to open it for me, and then tonight I was like, is that? Because when you were like, oh yeah, could you record the podcast tonight?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm opening Gary's show.
I assume that means Gary's show's not going ahead.
Yeah. Literally, they moved it last week. I was in there on Monday.
7 days ago.
No.
Could have given me 7 days.
I was in there last Monday, right?
I've already spent the money in my head.
It's fine. I'll give you it.
Paid my gas bill.
I was going to pay someone.
I was texting Vincy and Paul.
You got to let it down now. You've already booked the flights.
I was texting Vincy and Paul, and I was like, hey, it's 2 weeks out of the show. I'm still hearing rumours that upstairs isn't done. And they just weren't getting back to me. And then I was there on Monday, and Vincy was like, yeah, it's not going ahead. I was like, okay. I was like, you went message out Paul. So Paul told me on Wednesday, he was like, I'm going to have to move it. And I was like, fucking great. And then, it just fucking fell off and I forgot. Sorry, lad.
My show's in November, so I'm hoping that goes ahead. I'm assuming it will.
It will.
Assuming it will.
As I said, mine's been moved to the 9th of August now. And there's a couple of nights there that I know of that have been moved to July. So it's going to be, upstairs should be fully ready mid-July. The problem is, they wanted to start making money and they wanted to open downstairs.
And also every day they're not making money, they're losing money.
Exactly.
So
by opening downstairs,
opening
downstairs, it limits the amount of work they can do upstairs because you've got paying customers downstairs, and that's how they've got to.
Yeah, it's a bit slower than it could have been. Yeah, I get it.
But yeah,
and also they probably want to stop paying rent. I did the place as soon as possible.
Well, originally their plan was like, we're going to keep both open because we can shuffle the two, and then as soon as they open the doors of Blackstock, they just went fucking do the venues.
It's a lot to manage, though. I think with any business as well, to be fair, having two locations that are 20 minutes from each other, so it's
people were turning up to the old venue, going, we've got a show in 10 minutes, and they were like, it's the other side of the town, and then they've had a lot of issues. Obviously, the new venue's it's much bigger, so they've had a high turnover of staff, and some old staff were leaving, some people were let go, and they're just churning through people. So they're just like, we can't balance the two. It's just not feasible in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But
Is it a work in progress you're doing tonight? Is it just like a little
No.
It's the Thursday Night Live.
I'm doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just the clubs.
headlining as well?
You're closing tonight.
Yeah, I'm
aren't you?
closing tonight and Saturday, and then tomorrow I got a double, so I'm opening tomorrow,
Nice,
so I can get off.
nice. Where else are you headed?
Alexander's, Chester.
I've only ever done that gig once,
Yeah,
but
it's
have you
nice.
done it before?
It's nice,
Sick,
yeah,
innit?
it's
It is
lovely.
sick.
Alexander's is mad,
lovely.
right? I've done that like 4 or 5 times, and most of the time it's an incredible show, and the 1 or 2 times it can just be an absolute fucking chaotic mess. So
I've only ever closed it.
really,
So this is my first time opening it, and I'm quite excited about opening it because I know what you mean. Sometimes closing it, you're like, what have I walked in? What have I missed?
Yeah, what's happened in the last hour?
my first ever Alexander's, right? I was dead nervous. I'd just done a comedy course, and Rob Thomas and Sam Avery were the coaches, the teachers, and I seen Alexander's were looking for a middle 10, and I was nowhere near that level yet, but I was just like, that'd be sick. And Rob Thomas messaged Danny McLaughlin, was like, throw Gary on, he's doing really well on the course, he'll do well. So I went, and I was dead nervous.
Had you already started doing stand-up at that point?
I'd been doing stand-up about 6-7 months. I'd been
Okay.
doing open mic nights, then went
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
course to try and improve.
Right, yeah.
And when I went, Simon Wozniak was opening, right? And when I got there, it was a prison work night out.
Oh my God.
Right? So before... And Danny wasn't there to MC. He got Gledhill. What's her name?
Amy Gledhill?
Amy Gledhill. She was the guest MC. And she's dead nice. She's not very abrupt with people. And she was just... Before she went on stage, they were up singing on the microphone, the prison officers and the chefs and the teachers and all that. And I was like, this is going to be rowdy. So she done really well trying to settle them down. And then when Wozniak got on, he was just like, listen, shut the fuck up. I'm the comedian. And for 20 minutes, all he done was argue with them because they weren't having it. They were just arguing full flow with him. The bar staff and like weren't doing anything about it. So he just spent 20 minutes arguing. And he come off stage and he was like, have fun, lad. And I was like,
That's horrible.
To be
That's
fair,
horrible.
to be fair, because I wasn't Simon, I absolutely smashed it because I was completely different. So I said to him afterwards,
At least you're not that guy.
Yeah,
the guy who hurt
They
us.
just love you
that's
because they
exactly what
hate
it was.
him.
So I said to him, I
Yeah.
love you, you know. I said, because that gig, I smashed that gig because you had murder with him. I
That's
said,
so
if you
funny.
smashed it, I would have died on my ass.
That's
I was like,
so
nice
sick,
one,
lad.
lad. But it was
That's so
just a
funny.
fucking mad one. Just singing on the stage before the MC got up.
That's
You were
nuts.
rotten.
That's nuts.
Rotten.
Do you know what? Obviously, I wanted to ask you before, but I did forget to ask you now. Obviously, with you going on tour, is this like... When was the last time before this that you've been on tour?
So I toured my book in 2022, but I feel like that doesn't count.
Oh,
So
no,
the
I
last,
definitely count
The last stand-up tour with the show was 2021.
And
So,
it's,
like-
it's a different show now, though.
Yeah, a completely different show. Completely different show, yeah.
And I'm assuming, obviously, this is a bit of a bigger scale tour than the 2021 tour as well.
A little bit, yes and no. Some of the rooms are the same, and some of them are bigger.
Are you doing more dates?
Yeah.
What's the process of like setting the tour up? Like have you had to, obviously, I've never like fucking,
Well, I just go to my management and I give them towns and cities that I want to play in.
and they just find the venue for you.
Well, so previously we used to have Live Nation doing it.
Right.
So Live Nation would be like, all right, and we've also booked him in this and this.
Yeah.
And if I didn't like it, I was like, I don't want to fucking go there.
Yeah.
But usually I'd be like, fuck it, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Whereas now, because we bought that all in house with my management, they're doing it. I'm like, fuck the ones that I didn't enjoy. Let's just go to the ones
Yeah.
that I want to do, and 1 or 2 of the ones that I didn't do previously that I thought I probably should go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's about similar in terms of number of shows, about similar size, but I feel like it's more targeted to places that I want to be.
Yeah, I suppose as well. You've got to sort of, I suppose with anything, though, you've got to play to where the audience is as well. I
Yeah,
suppose
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
if you were doing a fucking like this, you see some people. I think was Paul Smith last tour nearly fucking 12 months.
Yeah.
He was on tour for so long, and like so he was just getting into everywhere. You know what I mean? Because like, well, why the fuck wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, but if you
Because
do
he
it,
can.
But even someone at Paul's level who's huge, when you look at his venues range from like 300 seaters to fucking like 8,000 now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just depends. Even though he's massive, he'll still target certain areas and go, I know for a fact I will sell that out to fuck. But there's other areas he goes, you know what? I'll just play it safe.
We'll go there one time, see how it goes.
Yeah.
If it does well, we'll keep going back. If
Yeah.
not,
Exactly.
We've been once.
You've got to dip
Yeah.
your toe, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you got like a? I know obviously you've got areas where you know you're going to sell more tickets than others, but is there any specific places where you prefer to gig? Like, have you got anywhere like where if you've got say you've got 7 gigs booked,
Yeah.
7 nights a week, but there's one city that you're going to look forward to, or one time you're going to look forward to the most. Like, if you've got one with like,
Bristol.
yeah,
I fucking love Bristol.
Why?
I don't know. They're just a really good comedy audience.
fair,
Just really, really good. Also, it's a fun city, but they're just dead sound.
Yeah.
And just love comedy.
yeah,
So I really love Bristol. Also, Liverpool's great. All the big cities really are just fun.
Is there anywhere on
So
the other
like
flip
Liverpool,
side then where you're like,
Manchester, Birmingham, London, Glasgow, like they're all
Yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
dead sound.
working class towns, I know.
Is
Yeah,
there? That was a good question.
Bit of
Is
that,
there anywhere where you?
Oh yeah, like fucking Kent.
Why? Why do you think that is though?
Anything that's a bit Brexit. Anything that's a bit Brexit-y.
Anything that's a bit Brexit.
Anything that's a bit Brexit-y.
Anywhere that might want to send you back to somewhere they think you're from, you might not want to
You're like, oh,
yeah,
not sure.
yeah. You've got to go with like a Union Jack pin badge on just to...
I feel like this taking what I'm saying at face value. Instead of
Yeah.
instead of doing it as like, oh, this might be a joke. We don't know.
Yeah, you can feel him getting angry in the crowd. It's fucking on. I never even thought about that actually. That's something.
Yeah.
That's my white privilege coming into play again.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never have even had to have considered that, to be honest.
But you might get like, because Scousers get face prejudice as well. You get a bit of that down south, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get it fucking 45 minutes down the M62 to Manchester.
Do you know what?
But that's different.
That's to be expected. though.
But that's also a bit different though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like whenever I've gigged in Manchester, I've never actually had somebody be genuinely like,
Yeah. It's all a little bit.
It's a
I
bit.
have-
It's
a bit
play-
tongue.
playful.
Yeah.
When I've
yeah.
been in Clown,
it's almost,
which is
like
Cheltenham, is it?
It's almost like football banter.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah,
like, you
that's
know what
it.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in Cheltenham a place called, is it Clown? I think it's called.
I don't know.
It's fucking full of clowns anyway. I gigged in like a converted church down there, and there was a complaint made to the promoter about me, and they forwarded me the message, and they were like, just wanted you to know. Because they messaged me going, I knew I died, I opened, and I knew I died anyway, and I was like, fucking so I'm one of them. And he messaged me going, he weren't there, and he was like, I heard about last night, sorry lad. And I was like, the happen? I said, we don't fucking smash every gig. He was like, no, to the extreme it was. And I was like, what are we talking about here? And he was like, I've had the venues had complaints, and we've got emails proving it. And I was like, sound. And there was an email off this woman, and she just fucking tore me a new one, lad. It was
About
hilarious.
what?
Mostly his appearance.
Yeah. And to be fair, it was quite early on in me sort of career, shall we call it?
Early on,
But that was the complaint.
Oh, fuck off,
Right.
Can I read it?
So it was like, hi Heather. On the majority, tonight was great. The first act, though, was horrendous. As a survivor of child abuse and having an autistic son, not to mention being a lesbian, his jokes were not jokes, they were inappropriate and vulgar. He clearly couldn't read a room as not one person laughed. Referring to his 5-year-old son as a prick at least 6 times in the first 4 minutes was disgusting. Then to bring the other stuff up made me
The kid
feel
is
sick.
a prick, though.
He is a prick.
Kid is a prick.
I'm already laughing.
Yeah.
The kid's a prick.
Exactly.
He's lovely, but he's a prick.
He's a dickhead. Yeah, it was disgusting. Then to bring up the other stuff made me feel sick. I wanted to walk out, but it would have been rude. He is so lucky that the guy in the orange trench coat, the brown trench coat, the orange jumpsuit, disabled guy, and half the lady acts were there to rescue the night. So every other act.
Yeah, no one's ever said that before.
Not
either,
sure
by the way.
I want
The disabled one and the women.
Not sure I want to come again. To any, not sure I want to come to any nights, and so glad I didn't blind book them for the cricket club. Such a letdown that one truly awful act can ruin such a great night.
Truly awful.
Yeah, truly awful act.
She really hated
the pub.
you.
The pub was great, but you may want to look at other options for comedy, as that let you down. Kiss, kiss. Right.
Kiss.
Kiss, kiss. So the stuff about being like a survivor of child abuse and having an autistic son, I weren't even punching down on autism. I had a little bit early on about my autistic son, who is just literal and says things how he sees. And he pulled me one day getting out of the shower saying, you need to wear one of mummy's bras because you got big boobs. That's all I said. But that's me punching down on autism. And then the lesbian bit. I used to have a nicknames joke. I used to do jokes about nicknames in work. And there was a woman we used to work with. How I opened the joke, I was like, work with this woman. She's a big fat lesbian. And I'm like, that's not the punchline. But this fella used to call her Vindaloo.
Could be.
And she started kicking off one day. She was like, are you calling me Vindaloo? Because I like curry. And he was like, no. Who sang the song Vindaloo? Fat Les. And that was it, right? And that was it. And she was...
It is funny.
It is funny.
But then...
It is funny.
What I tried to do, I was gigging the next night, so I read that complaint out on stage. So I said, as a survivor of child abuse, having an autistic son, not to mention being a lesbian, I said, it's clear here that she was abused by her half fella, and that's why her son's autistic, and now she's lesbian. And no one laughed, and I went, I'm going to park and never speak about that again.
Yeah, maybe don't say it on camera. But it's too late.
And I was like, but you learn. But I had a review from the Not Comedy review 2 days later, and it was fucking chalk and cheese, and I was like, it's mad.
You just got to find your audience.
Comedy
think
is so
about it, like,
subjective.
any comedian you love, there are people out there who fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Fucking
Despise
hate them.
It's like,
despise what they stand for, their comedy, like comedian, all that
I
bullshit.
hate
Yeah,
that. Do you know
all
what I
that
hate
fucking
on Twitter?
bollocks.
You know when you'll say something on Twitter and it's either upset someone or someone that doesn't find it funny and
Or they disagree with just a viewpoint.
yeah, and they reply, oh, so-called comedian. It's like, yeah, I am a so-called. I'm
I've
calling
had loads
myself
lately.
it.
Is this in a comedy club? I'm like, all right, shut up. But I get loads. When Hot Water put a clip up, because I'm fucking ginger, they go, fucking Paul Smith from Wish, Paul Smith wannabe and all that. You get it, the standard practice.
Yeah.
But I had one last week, remember I sent it into the group chat. So I'm talking about my tattoo on my back, saying I got it in memory for my half fella because he was selfish and killed himself.
I do remember this.
And that was the butt of the joke. I was just talking about my half fella being selfish. And someone commented going, as a twice survivor of suicide, this is disgusting, vulgar and all that, right? And I was like, I can't touch that comment. And someone replied saying, see, you're still a failure then. And I was like, oh my God.
Sometimes you got to let other people do God's work for you.
That's it. That's
what it is.
Yeah, time's the
And I
charm.
was like, oh.
Fucking heavy,
Do you ever sort of get sucked into comments at all?
Oh yeah, I used to more than I do now.
Yeah.
I just like other issue because I'm Muslim and I'm practicing and stuff. Like if I do anything vulgar, like a certain section of my fan base
frowned upon.
won't like it at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I put a clip up the other week of like just a bit of crowd work, and this lad was like, and I just going out. It was a crowd work show, and so I put a clip on it. I think by the time I got to this lad, it's like 45 minutes in. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? There's nothing. I went, oh, she's just wanking all day, is it? What? And then I just went, what do you want to do once you stop doing that? And it just made me laugh. It just made me laugh so much the way I said it. And then, but this had, and then I was like, oh, maybe you could go to arm wrestling because you'd have one massive arm. And so I was like, this is some witty shit that I've just come up with off the cuff. And then, but that's not everyone, but like just enough people on the comments were like, oh, there's no, like, you don't need to be vulgar to do comedy. Like, and I was just like, you know, this isn't funny. And you're like, not to you.
Yeah.
It's not funny to you. Like, that doesn't mean it's not funny to other
pisses me off
people.
that.
I'm like, this isn't funny. Why are people laughing then?
It's the same as any other art form, right? It's like I could listen to a song and go, that is fucking unbelievable. Come in here tonight and go to you today. Hey, listen to this.
Yeah.
This is the best.
I've done that with you on many occasions.
Yeah, then you should go, this is absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
And like it's the same. It's the same with fucking music, films,
Anything.
comedy, anything that's considered
Everything's subjective, innit?
an art form in any way. Someone fucking hell, even things that aren't art forms, things that like people can't help, like the fucking. Like, I don't know, like fucking religion and race. Some people are gonna love it, and there's some people who, for some reason, they're just gonna hate you.
Or someone's attractiveness. Like, you could find someone that attractive, and you're like, not for me.
Yeah.
It's but like I hate that now because that's I think social media in general, it's good for so many things, but it's
everyone's opinions are so empowered.
because
And
people
everyone's
get their
got, like,
opinions
a
confused
sense-
with a fact. No.
Yeah. That's not funny. Why are people laughing then?
Yeah. Why am I a comedian?
You made like an objective statement.
Yeah. You're letting everyone know.
Yeah.
Don't even bother watching.
Yeah.
This isn't funny. It pisses me off. Like,
It's mad,
it
innit?
really does.
And it's uneducated people as well, though. So, like,
yeah.
the thing is with comics and putting clips online, if you put material online and it goes viral, you've burnt that material. So a lot of comics will put crowd interaction online, crowd work. So whenever I put any crowd work clips up, all people go is, this kid needs to get his own material. He's robbing Pauls by talking to the crowd. And I was like, I'm talking to someone. How is that robbing anyone's
Also, no one's
material?
invented, like, crowd work has existed since comedy's existed. No one owns crowd work.
Exactly, and Paul might be one of the fucking greatest at it and online, but it's just people who are uneducated and naive. But at the same time, keep commenting away because the fucking algorithm is just fucking flying.
Oh yeah, the more like I don't think people realise that as well, like because in a lot of cases, the people who really hate you will be more keen to comment than the ones who love you.
Yeah.
The ones who love it are gonna watch it. They
dislike
like the
it.
video.
Yeah.
They might send it to the mate who also loves you and go,
They
"Oh,
won't go
look
out
at
the
that."
way to go really like
But
this.
the ones who dislike you, the ones who hate you, will be the most vocal you can imagine with it, and inadvertently they end up being the ones who help you the most with the clips online because
It's
they're the
hilarious,
ones who are
isn't
like, "Fucking yeah."
But when you
Thank you for watching.
yeah, literally.
But when you're
literally.
reading something, you think, how have you sat there and gone, I'm gonna write this now?
I said this to my wife, like, unless something is like so offensive that it's almost like insightful
Yeah.
to violence or something, right? Unless it's at that level, or like, you know, like a matter of like genocide or something.
Yeah.
I've never felt the need to leave a negative comment underneath anything.
Yeah,
Whether
never.
I've enjoyed it or not, like I do it with my mates and stuff. But like whether I've loved summer or not loved it
Yeah.
or hated it or
impartial.
hated the content of
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
Leave it
yeah.
there.
I've never felt the need to like
No.
just
leave it.
Yeah, I just want to let
Why
you
are
know
doing,
I
why
really
are you
hate
fucking
you.
doing that?
It's-
You fucking-
I had
what
one.
a fucking nerd.
I think it comes from a little bit of an attention deficit
It does.
as well, though, you know.
It does.
Because their comment gets interacted with,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they get what we
Yeah.
look for on stage.
Yeah,
they
they
get
get
in,
it
they
on
get in
the-
the
they get on the
comment
culture.
section.
Yeah,
We're just pursuing the same goal, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's like, we're not so different, you and I.
We're their platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like,
Exactly. We're their stage.
I think that is a lot of it as well for people, because it's like sometimes like we've had clips on the podcast, and to be fair, we don't get too many negative comments, but there was like it's whenever you'll get a video that gets like a few 100,000 views.
Once
that
it goes
really
once it
viral.
goes beyond your base,
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
and it starts reaching people who aren't
Exactly.
your natural
Exactly.
viewers, that's when you start getting the
it's
sort of like, what the fuck is this?
You read this on time and it's like a fucking 5 or 6 line comment,
Yeah.
and it's like, surely you
Yeah.
didn't dislike what you just watched that much,
Yeah.
and if you did, swipe past it.
Yeah.
Like, it's
mad. But
while
I-
you're commenting,
I
it's
don't
still playing in the
understand.
background.
But as you said, people will drop something on there because they want a reaction.
Yeah.
Like I had one. I was joking about my half fella killing himself, and someone wrote, "Your half fella killed himself out of sheer embarrassment of his son."
Yeah, they want.
So they want
Yeah, they want
people
attention.
to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's
want
funny
attention.
though.
Yeah,
It's actually Gary's dad. He's been alive for years in the Bahamas. He's
Yeah,
just-
he's in Argentina with Hitler and
He's
Tupac.
on Facebook watching them going. It's fucking crazy, man. I've never understood like the sort of the thing behind that as well. Is because even when like you get it on like TikTok and Twitter as well, it's like it's a little bit more difficult to do it on Instagram and stuff like that, because like it's a lot more of a personal thing. But on like TikTok and Twitter, when you can almost be completely anonymous as well, and it's like dude, the worst for it. Oh Jesus fucking Christ, the worst place for like incredibly toxic comment sections is Instagram Reels.
Really?
Like you wouldn't believe though. There's literally been ones where like there'll be
See if I can read any of mine.
there'll be a disabled kid like playing basketball and people will comment shite.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's so unnecessary. Like they're not even doing it like to be like, I didn't enjoy this. They're just like any time like. But like I find myself guilty now, because when we had that until on the other week, we were speaking about this exact thing, and like I find myself guilty of it. And if I see a video come up and it's like there's no nice way of me saying this, but if I see a video come up and it's like there's like a disabled person trying to do something a little bit uplifting, I'm like, I've got to check the comments. I've got to see what. And
The worst of existence is gathering here.
Mate, it honestly, like, it's
It adds to the experience, though, doesn't it?
crazy.
Oh, that's
Like,
ruthless.
honestly, just go on Instagram Reels and just spend 20 minutes tonight just on Instagram Reels, and every time you see a video that you think surely nobody's going to leave a negative comment about this. Click on the comments, and I guarantee you, the top 5 comments, the most liked comments, are the most. It's either incredibly racist or just horrible. Like, it is a cesspit.
I don't think I've checked them. You know, I'm gonna start reading reels.
Lad, it's evil. Click on that one at the bottom, and it's just essentially TikTok but on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you just scroll through it. It's also it's better than TikTok because
There's a video of a kid throwing like a barrel.
Have you seen
and
this?
it explodes, and look at his face. Right, so look, his face is all mangled. Right, so let's see what the comments are on this. There's 12,000 comments.
What's the first one?
The first one is, I'm actually surprised he's alive.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
True story, kid found beer keg, tried to explode it. That one won, but his face really hurt. His mum tried to sue beer shop for this. That's shit.
That's not even a true story. Someone just made that up for no reason.
There's loads of fun ones. Someone's posted a gif of Sloth from the Goonies on there.
Honestly, it's terrible, you know.
Nothing comes good from amber-coloured bottles.
There was one the other week. There's and I always see it pop up every now and again, and it's this same account, and it's like a lad with like I think you'd say like a lot like some of these like low functioning Down syndrome, so like they're not like but he's incredible at basketball.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, the one who
He's
just
just over his head.
Yeah.
Lands it every time. He doesn't even look.
Yeah.
Something turns on, high five, taps him up, and he's
yeah,
off.
I've seen that on
And I
TikTok.
went on the comments, and one of the first one, it was something like syndrome's down, but his average is up, or something like that. It's just the craziest shit you'll ever.
It's so witty though.
Some of it you read it and you're like, I could never write that. I could never write that.
And you're like,
Taking material from the comment
Honestly,
section.
I'm like, I'm gonna bring a projector screen on stage and just scroll through reels and just repeat things that I've seen in the comments, mate. It's honestly, genuinely, if you wanna feel better about how you are and who you are as a person, all you need to do is Instagram reels, 20 minutes. The first video you see that should be uplifting,
the comments are
go
horrendous.
on the comments. But the thing is, it's not the same on TikTok. It's not the same on Facebook. People see that on any other platform and they're like, oh, this is so. I'm so glad to see you doing this. Instagram.
I think Facebook's brutal. That's where the vast majority of my negativity comes.
Yeah,
Facebook.
but all you've got to do is spend 5 minutes on Facebook, and it's just racist middle-aged white people. So it's like, I'm not surprised if you get a few negative comments on Facebook because it's like it's just.
It is the boom of social media.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I think it's because as well, it was, other than like MySpace that sort of was there for a few years and then disappeared, Facebook was the first one that was like a mainstay.
Yeah.
So it's like, when Instagram and like Twitter and shit like that started coming out, people who had been on Facebook for like 7 years, who were like mid-30s, they're not jumping into these new ones, like, this is where we'll stay. And then it's like...
Yeah, to be fair, I think if I wasn't a creator or in this industry, I don't think I would have ever got a TikTok.
No. I was before...
I might have by now, but not when I did.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, before we were doing like the podcast, or like I was doing stand-up, I had social media, but I was never active on it. I was on Twitter, but I didn't have like my name on it or anything like that. I'd just tweet,
I
just
come
trying
off
to be
social
funny,
media
you know what I mean?
in its entirety for years.
Yeah.
And then about a year or two before I started comedy, I had an Instagram and I had a couple of posts and that was it, and didn't use anything. And then when I wanted to start comedy, I was like, well, you need a fucking social media. You need Facebook for starters, because that's where the vast majority of the gigs are. And then it just spirals from there, doesn't it?
It's just, I think, like, do you remember back in the day on Facebook, like my mum, I'm not even messing, I think she was genuinely addicted to the game Farmville back in the day. Do you ever remember the game Farmville?
I do remember the game. I never played it, but...
Like, I'm not messing. I remember, like...
I reckon some families have fell apart because of Farmville.
Ours nearly did. Like, I'm not even messing. Like, my mum would get in from work and like, the tea would be done, like, ready for her. My dad had cooked tea. And it, like, the first thing she'd do instead of sitting down and eating dinner, she'd be like, I need to check my corn crops. I'm like, no, you need to eat. Like, you've been in work, or honestly. I remember I think I was nearly groomed on a Facebook game once.
Go on.
I promise you. I absolutely promise you. So there was this game called Mini Planet. And it was a little bit like Habbo. Do you remember Habbo Hotel? Habbo Hotel was a game where it was like a little pixelated type of game, and it was like a big hotel, and you'd have your own room, and you'd customise your own room, and you'd go on it, and you'd go to like little parties on it, and you'd all like hang around the hotel, and you'd make your own
like Sims.
It was like a gay Sims.
Sort of, yeah. It was just a little bit less advanced than Sims.
Right.
It was just like a server, and people would be in it, and you
Right.
but there was this one that came out on Facebook called Mini Planet, and like the graphics were a little bit better. Like the options for like the customization for like your apartment was a little bit more in depth and shit like that, and it was you just speak to random people on it,
right?
And I don't think I was any older than 10, and I was on it, and I'm in my apartment tidying up, and there was I had guests coming over, and this like random little blonde-haired female character just boop appeared in my apartment, and I was like.
Yeah.
I was like, hello. I was trying to put the moves on it, if you will. And then but like you couldn't communicate like with your voice. It wasn't like a headset thing. It'd just be like you'd type and a little speech bubble would come up like above your head. So like I'm sat down on the couch, and then this woman comes and sits next to me on the couch, and I'm like, oh. I was like, and then I see her start typing, and I'm like, I wonder what she's gonna say. And then it was unzips jeans, and I was like, what? But this was back in the day when the only computer we had in the
So
house.
what time did you have your dick in your hand?
No, it didn't, because the only computer that we had in the house was in the living room.
Right.
So I'm playing my little game in the living room. Yeah, my mum and dad are watching telly there. So I was like, I'm checking back, I'm checking my shoulder to make sure they're not like, I'm like in the S,
Reading your
I'm checking
speech bubble.
I'm everywhere.
Scanning.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking for the man on coming on from the couch. Like, what's she saying? And then it was like unzips jeans, and I was like, what? And it was like licks tip of star, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I get a friend request on Facebook of this random man. At the same time, because your Facebook account is linked to your game, it's a game, and I was like, yeah, it's fucking weird that. And I told me mum and dad what had happened, and they were like, they flipped at me, victim blaming, textbook victim blaming. By the way, they were like, what? Like,
why were you on that game?
What were you wearing in game? It was honestly, but like at the time, like looking back, like it was quite funny. But like at the time, I remember being like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Like I was sitting there, I was like 10, so I was sitting there like, I'm not, I wasn't even into it. Like, oh mate, it was terrifying. You know, it was crazy. Honestly, it was mad. Like
it's a dangerous place, isn't it?
It really is. Like that game Roblox is bad. You're not even familiar with the game.
Yeah, I'm aware of Roblox. Yeah,
I don't play it.
It's kind of like Minecraft, but like a different kind of Minecraft.
Yeah. But like there's like there's like apparently there's like a proper like parents that are a bit funny with letting the kids play that, because there's a bit of a community on there. Let's just
Well, I
say.
imagine like anywhere where there's kids congregating is going to attract nonsense.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to do one of those nonce things, me.
Or those
I'd love to.
catch a predator.
I'd love to do one. I'd love to, but
I'm going to lose my job.
But mate, I couldn't though, because I don't think, like, I think what they're doing is very commendable work, but I also think they are a little bit fucked up, because they're even like the people who are catching them, I think, are a little bit fucked up, because even though what they're doing is good, they're trying to get paedophiles off the streets, which yeah, it's never a bad thing.
It's got to work.
But if you're, it is. No, it genuinely is. But if you're like a 40-year-old man and you're pretending to be
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
a 12-year-old boy online, and you're sexting with a paedophile,
Yeah.
like,
Because also there must be like,
Yeah.
you're not going to have a 100% hit rate with paedophiles.
Yeah.
So like if you're the 12-year-old boy, at some
What
point
if
you're
you're
going to
not the
be
type?
you're going to be chatting to 12-year-old girls.
Yeah,
at some
yeah, yeah.
point,
And then you're the paedophile.
and then you're the paedophile.
you need to dye your hair out or live long until to see yourself become the
It's like in
paedophile.
paedophile Inception.
Oh,
The
mate,
yin and yang.
nonception. It's fucking, I don't know.
There's
it's
loads like that.
fucked up.
I seen something the other day saying about serial killers going.
Can you imagine two paedophiles just trying to catch each other?
And
they're both
chasing each other all over the world.
No, it's you! No, it's you!
Like the Spider-Man meme like that.
There's like 4 of them all looking. I don't know. Like I really respect what they do. I really do. But I think, at what point is it like, how much are you enjoying being a 12-year-old boy sexting people? Do you know what I don't know. I seen one the other day. There's this fella, this lad. He's one of the people. He's just like,
Yeah, at some point they're going to start entrapping people, aren't they?
yeah. Well, yeah, because like, what if, like, I always think this, right? And I just want to make it clear I want to make it very clear right now. I am in no way sympathising with the paedophiles here. I'm really not. And I think
He's made that very clear.
they're the worst of the
Touchy
worst.
subject.
They're the worst.
Did you not
literally.
Did you not empathise with the one? I'm going to lose my job.
Oh, no. He was cute.
No, because it did look like he had something a bit wrong with him.
He did, but you've got to have to want to be shagging
Yeah,
kids,
wrong
haven't
with
you?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't think anyone who's shagging kids hasn't got something wrong with them. Somebody maybe hide it better. But, like...
He looked like one of the heads off Easter Island, didn't he? He was fucked.
Yeah, he was in it. He was a mess. But there's this lad called Ed Matthews. He's just like... He's a dickhead. He's just one of them obnoxious people, like really loud on something. Like he doesn't do anything. He's just like he'll make a video and be like, top 5 reasons why birds are all fat. He's just one of them. He's horrible. But I seen a clip the other day. He had just started doing his own paedophile hunts, right? And he went to one of the houses, and what he had done to this fella, you give him a tin of cat food, right? And went, if you eat this tin of cat food, I'm not going to phone the police, right? So this fella,
Felix everywhere.
he puts it in a bowl for him and everything, right? And gives him a fucking fork.
That's his kink. That's his kink.
He's got the
And
fella.
then let me shit on your chest. And eat it.
He's got the fella. He's stood at his front door, right? And he's going, keep eating it. And then he's going, meow like a cat. And the non's going, meow. He's going, that's not cat-like enough, do it again. He's going, meow. And he's eating the cat food. It is the shit.
And then it's on the internet.
That's some Black Mirror shit.
Oh, mate,
It is.
It was crazy. But did you see it on the other week? There was a video, I think it was in Scotland.
This is not my algorithm.
It was,
So
I don't know how it's become mine.
Seen it, yeah. Your algorithm's fucked, lad.
I thought it was in Scotland, and they've obviously caught one. They went to his house, this fella's like, they get him in the front garden and that. And they're like, oh mate, they're like, you know, we need to get people like you off the streets. They were like, you're living here and you're a paedophile. We've seen kids before playing around the corner. And he's like, where? But like, he says it, and they're like, what the fuck do you mean where? But like,
Opportunity.
we see his eyes light up. They say it.
Knocks
They say it. And he goes, well, he's over the moon.
hello.
Yeah. He's like, can we go? Can we join?
It is mad.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Pictures of it didn't happen.
Prove a few, innit? No, I seen one the other day about serial killers, and this fella was like, in America, if you're a serial killer, he said you get sentenced to death.
Yeah.
He went, so you get executed in prison. He said, and I imagine it's the same executioner for the vast majority of the executions. He said, so he's just a serial killer who's made it through the legal system.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And I was like, you've got a point, lad.
I've never actually given that any thought. Maybe they need to keep a closer eye on. No, I mean,
Could you imagine after the third one? Is it 3 or 4?
It's 3 becomes a serial killer.
Yeah, as soon as you're in the third one, right, it's your turn.
Suppose
Go.
keep your friends close though, innit? You know?
Full on Dexter shit, that, innit?
Yeah, I wonder if I wonder, because obviously I know the premise of the show Dexter is a little bit far-fetched, but there's got to be someone out there now who sees themselves as a little bit of a vigilante. You know, like there's got to be someone going
There's not
around.
enough. There's not enough of that, is there?
I think that I wouldn't be against it.
But I think partly it's because forensics and monitoring and all that's come on so much that it's put them out of the game a little
But
bit.
I think that's why we're not getting many serial killers these
Yeah,
days either.
it's tricky, innit?
I wouldn't be against a new serial killer, me. I think we're long overdue one. We had Lucy Letby, but she was cheating.
She was a cunt, innit?
Yeah, and she you got after the easiest
There's
ones.
part, but you know, like she's appealing against the sentence, like she's maintaining that she's innocent.
Stop
you know,
it.
part of you is going, but I don't know, I wasn't there, were I? Imagine she is innocent.
And to be fair, you don't know how much
Like, we
of a
don't
dickhead
know.
they were being the babies.
Like, we don't know.
Some
Like,
babies.
if she, she probably did do it, right? And I hope she rots in hell.
Yeah.
But there's part of you going, I don't know though. I wasn't there throughout the case.
But didn't they find like a diary or something, or like a
Right,
notepad?
I don't know. I don't know if they got a smoking gun or not.
I don't. Well, I'll have to fact check that when we get off air. But while we're on camera, this is fact. I'm sure they found like it was like a notepad or like it was. It might have even been pieces of paper.
What the
that
fuck
she'd
is she
written on.
appealing
She wrote in
And
wingdings.
she was writing like, I'm a horrible person, I'm an evil person, and all shit like that. Like I don't think they've necessarily got a smoking gun, but like they're looking at it and they're like,
Right.
you did
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
You're kind of confessing.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's a tricky one because like I mean, she did do it.
Yeah.
But if she's appealing against it, she's either got a lawyer who is a demon, who's like, we can get you off
Oh,
with
she's
this.
fucked in the
There's a
head.
technicality.
Yeah.
Like, someone's forgot to cross a T.
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
She's either got a fucking demon for a lawyer, or there's only three choices. Demon lawyer, she is innocent, or she's not mentally fucking deranged.
Yeah, that she's
she at least believes she's innocent.
Yeah, deluded, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Or
think
the
it's
fourth option, which is, let me get back out there and carry on.
Yeah.
Option 4.
if you wanna,
Bundy style.
because like by the time she retires, she's gonna look back on her career and like statistically, if you like, compare it with like your Bundys, your Dahmers,
Like in
stuff
the game
like
of Top
that,
Trump, she's not really going to win, is she?
she is
She's not.
slacking.
She's not going to be in the GOAT conversation.
I don't think she's qualifying for the Champions League.
No, she's not in the GOAT. Who's the GOAT?
I think you've got to go Bundy. But then again, numbers wise though, you look at people like
Genghis Khan.
I mean, I feel
But
like
they're not. So serial killer is a specific definition.
Yeah.
yeah, I think people who had like an army or a political infrastructure behind them.
it's different.
counts.
I think
Like
who was,
assassinations don't count. No.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Assassin's Creed.
I think Shipman's work goes unnoticed a lot of the time. It goes under
He
the
was a
radar.
fucking demon,
It
yeah.
does. It goes under the radar a lot. I think
But again,
maybe
he's
that's
definitely
where.
the spectrum. He was prior fucking on elderly, weren't he?
I
The
think.
young and the elderly
It's a bit,
don't really
it's a
count.
bit cowardly.
Yeah, it is cowardly.
I don't know. I think what we'll
The
do.
fact that Bundy fucking escaped, like went on a hunger strike and slipped out of the fucking railings
which is
and all that.
Dharma was up there.
Damn, it was nothing.
He was
What was the one who
just-
dressed as a clown?
Oh fucking hell! He done.
There's a Netflix show on him, isn't he?
What was the British one?
Sutton Gacy, is it?
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
Oh,
Harold
yeah.
Shipman was the.
No,
doctor.
the British one, the one that was a fucking.
Oh,
Jack the Ripper.
no.
Jack the Ripper.
Jack's the goat. Yeah,
Yes,
Jack's
gotta
Jack's
be
the
the
goat.
goat.
Yeah,
Jack's the
yeah,
goat.
but then it's like, but you weren't born, lad.
Fred West?
You never saw him play, lad.
Yeah, yeah. The
You weren't
games,
born.
the games
yeah.
evolved since
You're
then.
on Wikipedia,
The
lad.
games evolved.
There are no forensics in them days, lad.
He would have been caught.
It was easy in them days, lad.
Put him in the modern
easy in them
game.
days.
Put him in the modern game. He goes missing. He goes missing.
you
in the
don't
big
know,
game.
lad.
The Yorkshire Ripper, fucking
Peter Sutcliffe.
Sutcliffe. What was Fred West a serial killer?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
he was.
I think-
It
I
was
don't
his,
know.
They buried them under the patio.
put them in the walls and everything.
Yeah,
and
the
fucked
patio,
up.
the
I think.
the garden patio.
I think fucking that's a next, like, because obviously I know they say sometimes serial killers like to go back to the site where they killed them, you know, there's like a little
live
memento
on
and
the
stuff
site.
like that. Like, no, they go back to, like, they'll visit where they
Yeah,
killed
yeah,
them. It's like
yeah.
a little, they'll go back and like relive it in their head and that, but like...
Or they're always
Fred-
then when the camera crews come.
Yeah.
They're in the background going, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah. But like Fred and Rose, like they kept a tight ship. They were like, we're killing you
They
and we're
parked
keeping
the
you,
car on top of you.
keeping you in the walls. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up, man.
Favourite
That's some-
serial killer?
That's some cartel shit, that.
It is.
Probably Jack the Ripper, just the stories.
Yeah.
My dad says, you know, he was there, he was like, you don't know. He was sick.
It's like how my granddad spoke about Maradona and stuff
Yeah,
like
you know
that.
what
It's
I
like you'll
mean?
never
It's like-
truly understand.
Yeah, we don't know.
You'll never see.
It's a generational thing, innit?
Favourite serial
Yeah.
killer? Before we wrap it up.
I'd probably go with Bundy and watch it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some indie stuff. Oh, there's a Korean guy in 1973. You don't know about him.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He is? No, there was one.
You don't know about
The
him.
time-
but
the
yeah,
Times
he
Square-
is.
Watch the league.
The Times Square killer, he just killed loads of brasses.
In Times Square?
Yeah, in the same hotel in the 70s.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you know, it is an obvious one, but I think purely because of how audacious he was to plan multiple escapes, I think I've got to go with Bundy, you know.
No, you know who's the fucking goat? The
Zodiac
Zodiac
killer.
killer.
Never got
look, he's
caught.
the same
The
time.
fucking, yeah, man. The
Modern
Zodiac
day
killer.
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. Writing letters as well.
Do you know what? I'm going to put this to the audience, Des, because we're going to wrap up now so that you can go and get to the comedy club. But
Yes.
what we want you to do, I'll put a poll on the Instagram. We'll tag it in. If feel free to share the poll at your
Yeah,
own free
yeah.
will, Des. We're going to make a sort of a league table. Jack, if you could make us something, and we'll put this on. We'll put it on the Instagram. And we'll make a poll of this. We want to try
That's
and
here with like God tier, like, you know, that sort of thing. They do. Yeah.
We want to try and define the GOAT.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, Tez, in a few months, we'll get you back again. We'll let the fans
See how many people you've killed and that's
make
that.
their mind up. Yeah, we'll see if you can enter the conversation, Tez. It's never too late. Chase your dreams, Tez. But while we wrap it up, Tez, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having us.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Always
It's always a pleasure. This is becoming.
Hopefully this goes out.
Jack, no pressure.
If this episode doesn't come out, forget about it. It's not meant to. But thank you for coming down again.
No,
Really
thank you for having
appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to have you down. To everybody watching at home every week, thank you for the continued support. We really appreciate it. Plenty more coming from us. Tez, go and have a lovely show at the Comedy Club.
Thank you
You
very
all go
much.
and have a lovely week.
Before
We'll see
you go, obviously you're on tour. Our
yes.
audience, vast majority is Liverpool anyway, but we have an audience that are around the UK. Now, where can people find tickets for the tour?
So TEZILYAS.com is where tickets are at TEZ ILYAS everywhere. So yeah, I'm everywhere from like Glasgow to Brighton, everywhere in between. I got a show in Liverpool at Hot Water, November I think it is, but I never remember the dates off the top of my head.
So
Nice.
But yeah,
Nice.
Go and see him.
Go and see
come-
Tez.
Go and
see
get
me.
tickets. Go down and see him. He's absolutely fucking wonderful. You're going to love him. Thank you for watching. See you next week.
Bye.
Ta-da.